Welcome back, guys. So, as you can probably tell from this little setup, I've done a small amount of work off stream. Off stream, yeah. What I've done is pretty much just fixing the LTN. At the end of last episode, we saw that it was not working correctly, and that's pretty much because I was sending all our inputs from the red line directly into our logistic train network, so it thought that it needed stone and coal and whatnot at this station. So what I've done instead is I've hooked up all of them, as we did before, to with the red wire to the LTN network, logistic network. Then I'm going into arithmetic combinator, and here it checks for whatever I want. At this station I want coal, I want stone. Then I multiply that by 1 just to keep it the same as the inputs, and outputs it here. Here it combines with what you want, the 30k. So let's say we have 25 in the network, as we do right this moment, or 5k. Then it combines here and says we need 24k more, and that's what I sent back to the network, and then it works perfectly. This is pretty much what I've done for all the setups here. And yeah, that will just make it run very, very smooth. So this episode we'll just set up a few more stations, so we have them all hooked up, and then I'll change one thing at the stations, and I'll tell you that as soon as we get there. But before that, I want to hook up some more solar power, since power has always been one of our issues, and let's just set them up so we have some for the future. We should have more than enough room over here that's not being used for anything. So if you just put down some solar fields right here, nice and quickly, one right there, and then the last one right here. That should give us a robot something to do. While they're doing this, let's go down and set up the rest of our LTN stations. The thing I wanted to change is that, as we saw last episode, we had an issue with trains getting stuck on the main line. That's when I remembered that there is a function for LTN to say, yeah, we only want you to request when there's more than 8,000 from here, but we can also set the number of trains, so we can only request 2 to the station at a time. By doing this, we'll never have more than 2 in a row, and that means they'll never go out onto the main track. This also limits the output this can have by only allowing 2 trains at a time, but that shouldn't be an issue since we'll have more outputs and the trains can just go request from there instead. I did think about doing the same in here, limiting this to 3 inputs, since that's what fits into one line. But since we're using active providers and pretty much outputs whatever comes in, I don't think that will ever be an issue. Just seeing right here, we might have some in a row, but it should empty out in a few seconds every time. So let's give it a go without changing that. So let's just set up the rest of these. I like to limit you to 2 trains as well. Let's see, limit trains to 2. Running across the tracks like a madman. And let's go over and do the same with the coal over here. So let's see right here, and we're still launching rockets, which is very nice. Set you to limit to 2. And now we're pretty close to having a pretty decent LTN network without needing filter inserters and doing all that jazz with it stopping inputting as soon as it's full. And the reason why we can do without that is that we are pretty much just pushing in raw resources to the system. So let's take a train up to some of the other things we need to check out. So we also need to go to our stone depot right here and fix that. Set it up correctly. So let's just take a little train. and we might have to look at our junctions as well at some point. And there we have a train we need to pick up, but we'll do that in a minute. So up here, let's just do a quick blueprint. We do have some in here, but we want to change these. Might just do a new blueprint right here, just to show you how I set it up. LTN train down. I like to call you stone in. Oh, sorry, stone out. Then we would like to connect it up to where is it at? A combinator, or just do this one to place it down for now. Right there. Where is our little constant combinator? Requesting the two we need, so connect you up to that one. And I did something wrong. Let's just check what I did wrong by removing it and placing it down again, because then it should work just like that. Get our robots to place it. This should be delivering it right now from here below, but there's always something wrong. One of it is this train that did it. Who knows? Who knows? But definitely not doing what I want right now. So it should just go into here, combine, and then go into the stop to that one. Isn't that just what it's saying? Green signal. Here comes what we need to see how it's set up correctly. And now it's connected up correctly. Don't know why it didn't work before, but we'll just make sure that we have it correctly for the future. LTN. Oh, is it just because you can't be called the same? I think that might be the case. LTN stone out. Yeah, it's just because they have the same name. Let's just call it number 2 then. Where is that? It's only depots that can have the same name, and now it works. So it's pretty much just I did it right. I just kind of forgot that I had to call them something differently. So now to copy this blueprint instead of this one, I'd like to remove you and remove that one, and then take a new blueprint and pretty much just copy this setup right here. And please remove. Now we can keep it like this for now. That will be exactly how we want it. Copy that blueprint, put it into our book, and then it should be good, and remove that one. So now we have LTN working at this station as well, and it should be extremely easy to expand to the other 3 we have. So let's just do a quick run up here and set up the rest of them. I'm kind of glad with the situation that I take the items from the logistic networks, because that makes this a lot easier to manage, at least when you want a certain amount in your base all the time. This one will just work. Has 2 trains, but we need to add more trains to the system, since we don't really have that many stored up. which is kind of sad. So one train in here. Do we get a second one? Should get a second one running now from all the way down here. What do we have here? That is just a stone train. So let's just set up this one. And it should be as easy as removing this one, taking the blueprint and placing it down. Then this should get built and then it should work. Except we need to change the names. That is always one thing we need to do. Let's just place down that one. And set this one to iron out. Number 2. Get this little combinator soon. And then just go over and check to the last little one over here. And then we can also set up our oil input while we're here. What you see down here, if you don't know, that's the LTN request schedule. So that will just keep running. As you see, we're running out of trains because we don't have any in depots. But we can always change that at a later date when needed. So let's just set up this one as well. I'd like to remove you and place down this nice blueprint. Change this one to call out number 2. And then this should work as well. Look, it's requesting trains to up here. Since this one is full or have something else added. And now let's try and see how easy we can hook up this one. Just as a test. What we want is pretty much just copy this setup. If I copy this little blueprints with this setup here, let's give that a try. I like to copy pretty much all of that so I know where to place it. It should have all the correct things, just like this. Should remove the belts out here. No, it should be fine just like this. We'll just remove it if needed. So now we have this input. We need the oil right here. That means we have to put you in here just before this one to get the oil in. So oil is right here. We might just place it right here, this little setup. Seems there's more than enough room. Let's see if we can get it to connect up easily just like this. And then we would like to take this T-junction here. Do the same to this part right there. Do a T-junction, or not T-junction, across. And then this should pretty much be up and running just by doing this. It might be cool leaving the trees just to see how it looks. But now we can hook up all the oil. Let's see, and get it barreled and put into trains. And I just need to remember how to pretty much get barrels up here. That's gonna be the issue. So you might want a supply station as well, supplying barrels for this setup. Or we do it with fluids instead, since that is easier to manage, and then we can barrel it at base instead. But let's just get it built first. Let's remove the trees, to be honest, it's easier to see. Get all these trees away. Here we go. And what I was thinking is, if you do barrels in, filling up these. Didn't I do an LTN stop? That's LTN. Oh, I have... What? Oh, I have two. That's why. I need to delete this one as well, since I placed down the wrong blueprint. Let's see, where did it go? Right here. There we have the LTN set up. So what I want is pretty much doing, if I do a setup with barrels, that the barrel is here, and then take it back to base. Since I've done everything barreling so far. Or we could take the fluids in and do it that way. I really want to do the barreling part, but that means that our oil outpost will have to change, so I can't do that. I'll have to have another input up here that gets the barrels in. That's a bit annoying, but it should be easy enough to do. Pretty much set up. No, then I need barrels in the LTN network as well. Yeah, I'm thinking about going fluids then, since that is a lot easier. Because then we can have the fluids out down here at the bottom, pumping into a barreling machine. I think that might be cool. And then have the robots move it to wherever the base needs. Is that what we should do? I'm kinda... Yeah, let's do that. Let's get barrels up here. Or get fluids in, sorry. So let's just remove all of this and do a completely new setup right here. Let's just remove all of it except the train tracks, and then see if we can get this to work. First things first, LTN down. Remember to get this one down, right there. One in front. Might not be needed. But right here. Then we'll have some fluid tanks. Let's just get some requests then. Let's see right here. Let's give me 10. Don't we have any in the system? Oh, we do. We just need to get them delivered. And then we need fluid wagons, and that's something we haven't set up yet. So I'll just do that quickly and move it into the base. Set up a small amount of fluid wagons. Let's see, fluid wagon. Right there. Cut. And paste it down here, so our base can start to make it. That's 10 on the way. I just need to stay inside this logistic range. So what we want to do is set up this and get some pumps. Let's see, do we have some pumps, please? Thank you, just give me a few. Don't know why that's not being built. Is the robot stuck somewhere? Let's just check for robo. We have no roboports. Well, that's a bit strange. Why don't we have any roboports? It should be made in here. In the base. we are missing concrete, and concrete is missing sand, and sand is just lagging horribly behind. So sand is something we should just expand a bit. Since that's something I don't want to be lacking, to be honest. And it seems it's just a delivery issue by the robots. But back to our little setup up here. We would like to get some fluid wagons as well, just to test this out. This is a bit overkill, but if we set up some storage, is this the correct way to do it? Might do them 2 and 2, so we have it split up, 2 for that one, 2 for this one, because then we can flip it. Then we'll do some pumps into these. Let's see when we get the wagons how they connect up. Do 1, 2. Give it some power. And do the same over here. And remember to get down a new right here. And hook up the power to the system. So this is 3 pumps connecting, just like we want. Can we get 3 pumps to connect over here as well? 2, 3. Looks like that is connecting up just nicely as well. And then we can pretty much connect up all of this to those, and then hook up these to the rest of them. Let's just get these built. Don't know why we are lacking them, but we are. So let's take some pipe. Let's just do it quick and dirty. Over here, get you up that way. Over here. Out this way, here, and here. And then we can do some undergrounds down. And connect up these with some pipes. Or let's do it a bit better where we have them split a bit more evenly. Like do right here instead. Because then I can, let's see, right here. You'll go into the middle, like so. And from here it will split out to going both sides. Connects up, connects up. This one will need a constant combinator. And then we'd like to connect all of these up. Go down here to see how much oil we have. Go into that one to that one. So we have an output saying this, but it will only request if we have more than, how much can be in one of these? 25k, 25k, so 50k. Will only request if you have more than let's say 100. Not quite sure if that is correct, but we'll know as soon as we get the oil flowing in. Now to give these some power. Let's use these to keep it nice and organized. Here, 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 and here. That should be oil flowing in. Oil is flowing into these. That's definitely, oh, it's because they're all connected up down here. So this should be a bit more even fill, hopefully. But let's just give this some time to fill up. Or let's not give it time to fill up. Let's get it out here and just remove these two, because it's definitely in the right spot now. We just need to make sure that it goes to storage instead, and hopefully can figure out that it needs fluid wagons here. That we'll find out in not that long. So loading from one side is completely fine. These are all working. So let's take this back to the station. I'll pretty much say go to LTN depot if I've named this one right. I haven't. LTN oil. Out 1. Oil out 1. Thank you. You can go to storage. LTN depot. And let's see if we can get this one to work. Oh, just stop for a second. I forgot to check one thing. And that is set this one to, no, we only have one train, so it's fine. Let's go to the depot and see if we can figure out our fluid, since we just figured out our, what's it called? Ores. And that should be working with no issues. Getting a ton of resources in, except stone. Stone is fine, it's just not supplying that fast. And that is just because of a lack of trains, it seems. Might be one of the issues. So this one goes in here, and hopefully it doesn't get requested for anything. It knows it's fluid wagons, so that is perfect. So now to set up this one, we'll just do the barreling of the oil here. So let's take out all of this. And the same with these. Then I would like to do 3 out. Here into storage tanks. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then set up barreling right here. Pretty much just copy our little setup from over here. Copy that. Right here and right there. Then we have 2. Now we just need to figure out how it should request oil. That is going to be the interesting part. So right here, we'll change you out with an LTN stop. Pretty much copying this one, I think, will be good. Copy you. Down here. Come on, and changing you to oil instead. Hopefully this doesn't mess up. Luckily it does not activate. On request, let's see, I wanted to bring in oil. Or we should do it oil barrels. Oh, it has to be oil. It has to be oil. So you'll request 100,000 at all times. Go into network, calling this one oil in, giving it some power. But this one should take barrels. So if we connect it up just with a red wire from here to that one, and of course remember to give it a bit of power. What I want this to check is if oil barrels times 1 do. Let's see what is it output right now. Stone, don't want output oil. Let's see, output that one. So now it outputs a signal of 99 because we have nothing in the system. And that's because we have no barrels. Yeah, that is something we'll have to check out next episode, because this is a bit more tricky than I had first anticipated. Output crude oil. That's because we haven't connected up to crude oil up here. With a wire it's not working. Because this one is throwing in 66, but it only delivers when they have 100. That might be a bit overkill, so I might go and change this one to 50 and see if it works. But that will be next episode. We will get the rest of this done. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and then I'll see you next episode. Bye.